say a word. And I think it's a lot more effective than some boss screaming at you, go away. So moms do have, and ruling elites, women do have a role to play. And this, now, Queen Letizia, she was divorced and she's a commoner. This is, I mean, the British family did that as well. So this is kind of the new thing with the monarchs, which is fine. But again, if these are social climbing people, I mean, whether they're doing it because they love the person or because they want the power and prestige, they do have an obligation to take their place in society, if you will. In this book that I just ordered about white trash, there's some stuff about Benjamin Franklin, and the way that the woman presents it, it's very one-sided. I mean, it definitely brings up a lot of points. However, there's always two sides to kind of look at issues, particularly people who lack knowledge or education. You know, okay, the founding fathers, yes, they were educated. However, compared to the information that is available today, and even all of the social sciences and everything like that, the relatively uneducated to what one can learn from all of the different and academic work that's been produced in the past 200-300 years. So anyway, here's
autoridades, señoras, señores.
This is the domestic violence.
Buenos días.
She's giving awards to all of the ministers that I want to see in court.
Considero que es un reconocimiento también para todas las organizaciones, entidades, instituciones públicas en todos los ámbitos de la administración local, autonómica y estatal, instituciones privadas, organizaciones y asociaciones de todo tipo, personal sanitario, todos los profesionales del ámbito de la salud, trabajadores de los servicios sociales y todos el personal de la administración de justicia y todos los miembros de los cuerpos de seguridad. Por supuesto, también están incluidos los 3 premiados de este gran y necesario grupo. En definitiva, lo que querría es trasladar esta distinción a todas las personas que cada día, de un modo callado, esforzado y con recursos limitados, ayudan, aconsejan, curan, animan, atienden, escuchan, asesoran.
No, asesoran. Oh, God. Vamos a tener a alguien para asesorarte. Ya no más. This that helps them, that asesorar is like to advise you. Oh, I'm going to advise you. To help you, to, all they want is somebody going, crying and all of that. I mean, I went through the total process. And this is a problem. Why? She's thanking all of the NGOs. I want to see all of them in court. It's fraud. It's fraud. And here she is, blah, 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 blah. And the Asociación de Mujeres Separadas de Madrid. When I went in, and I forget the name of the woman who runs that, and finally I met with her, and I go into her office. She arrives like some queen with her ladies in waiting, and I go into her office, and there's photos with her shaking hands all over the place. I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. I see what's going on here. That's all it is.
Reconfortan y consuelan a quienes sufren violencia doméstica y de género, que es como se llama este observatorio del Consejo General del Poder Judicial que nos reúne hoy aquí y que aborda esta violencia desde la Administración de Justicia. Para todas esas personas anónimas, nuestra gratitud y nuestra admiración. Y por supuesto, el recuerdo permanente y respetuoso para todas las mujeres asesinadas por sus parejas o exparejas. 52.
And with all the respect for all the women who were killed And then they give numbers and everything like that. The only thing, until you are actually killed, it's not domestic violence. I even asked one, I had 2 court-appointed lawyers. It was, for hearings that they said I didn't need any, my lawyer didn't have to be there. I said, no way, I want a legal representation, and everybody who walks into a hearing or whatever should have legal representation. Now, the second challenge is getting competent ones, but they, and this will help clean up the courts. I said to her, what, I had to wait until, I'm in ICU, intensive care unit, and almost dead before I say anything? Oh, yeah, because otherwise they'll really shut you up. And even then, you'll be lucky. You gotta wait until they kill you. And then it becomes domestic violence. Well, sorry, they're already dead.
En lo que va de año. Nuestro pensamiento.
Everybody just sits there, clap, 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 clap.
Nuestro pensamiento es también para los menores, los niños, víctimas, a veces mortales, a menudo huérfanos, de una violencia que debemos seguir combatiendo y enfrentando con todas las herramientas que nos permita, por un lado,
that we continue to fight with todas las herramientas, the tools that we, I've heard this speech, I don't know how many times. It is propaganda, it is BS. This woman is an investigator, well, she's a journalist. I think she was an investigative reporter, but journalist. Really, quite frankly, they should be ashamed of themselves. And the way that all of this is being covered up, her father-in-law, the present king's father, abdicated in favor of his son because of some corruption scandals. This is why the monarchs fell. Because they had no idea what was really going on. Either they didn't care, or they were misinformed by the people around them, and they had no idea what was going on. And in this case, I don't care if they don't care or they don't know. Same to me.
La educación. Muchas gracias.
Es siempre la educación. Give them just more education, more training, and everything's going to be fine. No. I just, believe me, all of us who have been in the trenches for years and years, if not decades, are tired of it. We're all tired of the BS. This is the Women's Link Worldwide, is the NGO that took the González Carreño versus Spain 2014 Convention of Elimination of Discrimination Against Women to the courts, and this is an amicus brief by Simone Klusak. Of course I contacted her. There's even an email, I think, in there. Nobody ever gives back to me. There's this one really, really good book about human rights. It's written on women. I forget what it's called. By all of these, Susan Cusack is in there. I think she might have even been the editor. All of these, big wigs. I contacted them all, of course, but they're all too busy up in their ivory towers to bother. And sure, a lot of what they have to say, they're right, but I never hear any of them talking about alpha dominance feminism or any of the problems that are going on there. That they're totally disconnected from that. And this is the human rights community. They're all, it's the same as all of the different domains and arenas. They're all so specialized and such experts and think they know everything, and each individual one think or want everybody to believe they're God's gift to the world. And since a lot of them know that they aren't, they spend their entire energy and time with intellectual property theft type stuff like that, trying to convince everybody how wonderful they are. This is what narcissists do. I mean, Trump is no anomaly. He's just a bigger version of what we've had before. Okay, so here.
How is the euro today?
In 1900, there were more than 20 monarchs in Europe. I don't know. Kingdom of Portugal, 1139. So, hold on. This is the closest I can get. Oh, there we go.
Following the priests and the nobles, Tsar Nicholas of Imperial Russia with his wife and children. One day, all to find death in a bullet-swept cellar. Emperor Franz Joseph of Austria pays a visit to Bosnia, to that very Sarajevo, where soon the assassination of his will spark off the First World War. Wilhelm of Germany, launching another ship in his country's drive to capture command of the oceans.
For the spectacular, you didn't have to travel as far as India. In those days, before all the crowned heads of Europe, was no empty phrase. And the last of a long line, the Sultan of Turkey.
announcement by General Condylis, leader of the Royalist Party, that he intends to abolish the Republic and return to the monarchy. He has formed a new government and has announced a national plebiscite for early next month for the people to show whether they approve of his action. Meanwhile, ex-King George of Greece, at present living in London, refuses to return to his country until he's certain that his country wishes him to do so. After 12 years' exile, King George II of Greece leaves his hotel in London to return to his throne.
Under the warm sun of the south, King Victor Emmanuel of Italy. The king, even though not up to his stately wife's shoulder, and his was a dynasty to last the longest, at least until the Second World War.
King Carol of Romania, a ruler forced eventually to yield his throne to his son, the boy Prince Michael.
Oops. Okay, well, I reset up the camera. I'm going to turn this off for a second.